Well, I was going to talk about this in a while, and I got to talk about something else as well. So I'm going to do it all in one video because there's a lot of fucking idiots out there. First of all, about this whole Nintendo's YouTube partnership program bullshit that everyone is bitching and complaining about and screaming at the top of their lungs and screaming Nintendo's screwing us, Nintendo's screwing us. Well, yeah, they're screwing you. But here's the funny part. It's legal. It's actually very, very legal, and there's really not much you can do to stop that. Why? Because all those games that Nintendo, the first party games with Mario and all their characters, are copyrighted by Nintendo. It doesn't mean that if the Wii U has a screenshot ability, that you can literally take those screenshots and post them wherever the fuck you want. That's not how copyright works. Basically, they can sue the shit out of you for just about anything they feel like. Um, it's a bullshit tactic and the thing to do, and it hurts the customers. But that's basically what it is. It's Nintendo's copyrighted characters, and this is the way they went with it legally. And to all the people who expected, like, well, I'm gonna go complain about Nintendo and they're gonna do it because I tell them to. Uh, yeah, good luck with that. You're not gonna get anywhere, and if you even try to run into a federal judge, you know, yelling, your rights are gonna be taken away. Most likely, you're gonna be slapped with cuffs and thrown into a jail cell. And any smart judge would literally just throw whatever case you think you have against Nintendo out the window. Yeah, the Wii U is a product that you own and it's a hardware you own, but the copyrighted characters are still Nintendo's, which means you really can't do much about that. See, it was proven in courts of law, like one against Apple against their iOS, saying that once a customer buys a piece of hardware from them, that hardware is now the customers to do as they wish. um, and that is very true because it's hardware, but it's very different in the copyright world of characters and things you create. It's that person's. Even if he shares it out to everybody, he or the court company still has all legal ownerships over those images and however they want. I mean, before Gene Roddenberry died, people could come up with their own spoofs of Star Trek. Then after he died, all those spoofs stopped. Well, not all of them, but a shitload of them did. Because that's just the way it is. Because Paramount now owns Star Trek. Even though you buy the CD or DVD of said such movie or movie, it's the contents that is on that CD you're not allowed to share. That is how copyright works in the US. And then we got the other half of the idiots on both sides complaining about the Order 1886. Because it got bad review scores, and a lot of people say it looks graphically beautiful, and but it's got the worst gameplay out there. Others are complaining about it being short. And now, the people who are complaining about it being short, shut the fuck up. Length of a game does not describe how good of a game it is. Um, I'm going to be yelling at the other side too, but just to the ones who are complaining about being too short, just shut the fuck up. That has nothing to do with the game. There are shit tons of games out there that are short and that have been actually good. Measuring how long you're going to have your ass sit on a chair and grow hemorrhoids out of your ass is nothing to brag about. Length has nothing to do with fucking video games. And, we're talking about a game where Hip Hop Gamer, I believe was his name, got up and said that if you hate the Order 1886, you are a racist. Yeah, there you go. Just throw in the race card like that. Just ditch that and throw that shit in there. Over a game that stars a white guy. Brilliant. Here's the problem. We have been given really bad. I mean, let's look at it from this point of view. Remember the game Destiny and how everybody complained that it was just one endless grind after another and had very to almost zero content into it. Well, that's the Order 1886 in general. And that's the main problem. A, it has bad gameplay. At least Destiny has good gameplay, but which really does matter. But both games have extremely small amount of content. In fact, the Order 1886, from what I understand, is not going to have very much on DLC, if not at all. And what's even more funnier is that the Order was made by a developer who mostly made Wii games or mobile games, and then had to be helped by a secondary studio just to get the graphics up. And I know that everybody's like, oh, but it's selling like crazy. Congratulations. You're going to have more Destiny based games. And we already have. I mean, look at Evolve. There's no content in that. All that extra content they put in there, like the $147 worth of content, is all just skins and or a third monster. That's it. And it's just really one game mode. Even though, yeah, they have other ones, but mostly everybody ignores that and goes for the single game mode. And that's the entire game. It's just that one game mode. So, yeah, congratulations. You're creating more Destiny. And yet you're the people who are also complaining against Destiny. But, hey, you gotta defend that Sony, right? The PS4, don't get me wrong, it's a spectacular piece of machinery. And, it's not like there's another game out there called Infamous Second Son, which had better ratings, better story, better gameplay, and was more funner, even though you couldn't get into the cars and drive them around. But oh no, 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 no! You got to make the Order 1886 work, even though fucking Infamous were far more superior game than this thing was. Then you're gonna get up there and then complain against games like Destiny or Evolve, even though even though you're supporting a half-ass game that pretty much is the exact same thing, and they're gonna just like, oh, you want more Evolve? You want more 1886 where you just half-assed it all the way through? Well, okay. Here's more Evolve. Here's more Destiny. Here's more of these games. I don't hate Destiny, but Evolve and Evolve was bad. You're just gonna get extra skins and extra things in there, and they're just gonna expect you to just shut the fuck up. And then they're gonna why? Because you love that Order, even though there's this thing called a back sales or returns. It basically is this chart that checks on how many returns have come in on certain objects. Hell, even comic books have this. Because I used to work in a comic book store, and uh, you had to check in on certain returns. I mean, one of the biggest returns, even though it was a big sale at first, was Marvel Civil War. I mean, but yeah, and I expect to see a heavy amounts of returns on the Order 1886. Large amounts of people just returning it, mainly because they just get bored with it, or it just sits there and will end up collecting dust because why? They got done playing it, and there's no replay value. And the replay value is, if you're willing to go back and play the game again over and over and over and over again. And I would maybe give it about 3 times of replay before it falls apart. Before you get bored and it gets stagnated as hell. Where you just drop the controller, or you're basically just falling asleep while holding the controller. You just can't play the game anymore. You just can't play. That's how this game's going to be. You know, you've done all this. You know where to go and what to do, and it's all just cut and dry. And but you know, you got your spectacular fucking graphics. You defended your spectacular graphics, and you're gonna get more games like Destiny, which you've been complaining about, and more games like Evolve, which you've been complaining about. But you saved that Order 1886. I hope you're damn proud of yourself, you damn idiots. I mean, Nintendo was coming out with better games, especially with the Bayonetta. But no, 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 no. You got to complain against Nintendo and have your higher resolution games, even though it's going to have zero to almost no content in it whatsoever, or any kind of replayability. It's going to be worse than Destiny. I mean, we're just going to have tons of games, just like Evolve, one game mode. That's it. That's the entire fucking game. It's just one fucking game mode, the entire fucking game. And it's only going to take you 2 days to master the game. But you got your higher resolutions and your high graphics. Because, you know, gameplay doesn't matter, length doesn't matter, content doesn't matter. Even though the two most important things in video games used to be gameplay, which is the ability to making your run up and down. Hell, you know what? They'll just probably remove it and just have you just watch a movie, and that'll be their entire video game. You know, you're just gonna watch the character run down the hallway and shoot other bad guys, and your controller, you can't do jack shit. It's just going to be just you standing there just pressing buttons while your character's automatically doing all the shit for you. And you just throw the controller down. He's still, winning all these points, getting all those, and he's not even getting trophies. Because what's the point of giving trophies out to a bunch of people who aren't going to play their fucking games, or take a challenging game like gameplay? Because you're going to get up there and say, well, resolution is better, or got to get that Blu-ray DVD shit. Because because gameplay is the controller, like the up, down, down, left, right code and all that other shit, or the Scorpion's finishing move codes. I mean, that's all gameplay. Gameplay is you basically moving the controllers and clicking the buttons to make your characters do shit. And when that doesn't work or you're lagging, that goes against gameplay. But, uneducated morons like you can't figure that fucking shit out. And you know what else goes against gameplay? Falling through the floor, going underneath the map, and mysteriously dying. But, we're going to end up with games where you're like pressing up and your character's going right. Or, jumping down a fucking pit of snakes because, you can't control the characters, but you got that high resolution going for you, right? High resolution. Here's my problem right now. You're all a bunch of fucking morons. Destiny, I gave it a break. Not for the lack of content, because it needed more fucking content. A lot more. But I gave it a break because it had good gameplay, good controls. And it actually worked as a game. You can actually make your character do what you wanted him to do. Put on clothes like you wanted him to do, or, whatever. Order 1886, it's like a short stop film. You know, once you're done playing it, you probably had lots of fun doing it, and I'm not imagining it's a great rental game. But once you beat it, for the third time in a row, you're gonna be on that couch, dead asleep, unable to play it any further because you already know what to do. You already know all the areas to go to, and after a while, you're just not gonna care because gameplay and replayability are the two most important things, and without those two, you just got dust collectors. Congratulations, you got that high resolution though. Congratulations.